about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and there he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Some skill by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Gonzalo running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden Barrett and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello, viewers out there. Welcome to Sports Orbit. Like we say, thank God it's Friday. So you're welcome to this edition of Sports Orbit, the last for the week. My name is Afa Acho. Salifu Usman is right here in the studio with me. Salifu, welcome to this wonderful Friday.
Thank you, Alpha. Thank you. Thank God you said thank God. It's Friday, the last episode of the week.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the weekend.
At all. Of course, like Salifu rightly said, we can't wait for the weekend because this weekend is loaded with so many interesting sporting activities. Of course, the biggest one will be the Champions League and also the Super Eagles of Nigeria. At least Nigerians will have a chance of seeing the Super Eagles once again in action this weekend. And of course, to see what new coach Jose Peseiro has in store, what he's bringing to the table. And now that he has been appointed as the new chief coach of the Super Eagles. Also, the Nigerian Professional Football League enters with 30. So it means after this weekend, you'll be how many matches to go to the end? Eight matches to go. So by this weekend, I think teams will be gradually shaping up at the top of the table and, of course, at the bottom end of the table. But first, we'll begin first with the news coming out from the United States of America, where new chief coach of the Super Eagles, Jose Peseiro, has actually resumed with 3 of his assistants, and actually they had a meeting with the technical crew that had been assembled to him, and Peseiro actually has brought in 3 assistants, namely Mikel Moreira, Akaiso Santos, and Victor Hugo, and he also had his first official meeting with the rest of the technical crew, with the addition of his men, to add up with the men who were already hired for him. The touchdown brings the technical crew to a total of 8. Salifu, for me, I saw it coming because I didn't see any way where Peseiro will pack his bags and packages and resume work without any of his assistants. And we said this, NFF, don't be too in a hurry to hire assistants for him. You could make recommendations, but allow him to resume job, allow him to come with his people. Then you could say, okay, look, we have 1 or 2 local coaches that we want to include your technical team. There's nothing wrong in that. But you brought in hired coaches for him, but now he has brought in assistants. What that's telling you is that who do you think he will rely on more in match situation? Because don't forget that one of them is actually a match reader.
Alpha, I keep on saying that the Nigerian Football Federation, they are always a victim of their own decisions. They fail to learn and to learn from experience. Having been at the helm of football, I think NFF, I don't think they are lacking knowledge. But it's absolutely that they just decide not to follow practice, not to follow the rule. We know that in the world, if you're hiring a coach, it's not as you've done in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Even in Nigeria, that they are appointed coaches. Remember, even when the Papa was appointed interim coach, although not pronounced, when there's a comment that you're going to work at Harmonic, a Papa kick.
Of course.
Although not pronounced, a kick. But it is not, you appoint a coach is at a liberty to choose who he wants to work with.
Yeah.
Because if he fails at the end of the day, he's the one that will be held responsible.
Exactly.
And I think the Nigerian Football Federation, we shouldn't labor, they should have to respect Peseiro's decision. Because you have given him a job, and the job you give him, is to succeed. And for him to succeed, he has come what he wants to work with. So I'll have to respect his decision. But and at the same time, there's something I don't know either we do are not aware, or that those managers are not aware. There's some other things we also need to learn from our other African brothers.
Yeah.
For instance, Papa Sissi in the Senegalese coach
Senegal, yeah.
that has done well. Now, by every standard and by the record, is the best coach in Africa. Having won the African Championship, is the best coach at the moment in Africa. He has there for close to 5 years, close to 5 or 4 years now. He has been to everybody. If you observe, his assistant coach is a foreign expert.
Of course, yeah.
His assistant coach is a foreign expert. So most of the job we are attributed to Papa System may not be done by Papa, but he's the one taking the credit. So we can also, if we have learned, we need to learn from that experience. There's nothing wrong putting our own man in the front and bring a foreigner to assist him.
Right.
So now we have a technical bench loaded.
I mean,
loaded, and at the same time, also it has a financial implication.
Oh, of course.
For instance, whenever a team go for a camp, if you have a budget, ordinarily you're supposed to have a budget for feeding for 5 people. You now have to budget for 8 people.
Exactly.
Now with Peseiro and his assistant, they are 4 already. And from the local scene here, we have like Finidi George and Salisu, the Ike Shirimu, and then the third goalkeeper, the third assistant coach. That is 4 of them. That's 4 already. That's also different from other backroom staff, the team coordinator, the physiologist, and the other security managers and media,
and all of that.
So it increases the budget of the teams. I'm not saying that there's need to attach your own local coach to or study the foreign coaches. That's good, but we should know how to manage this kind of situation. You first of all discuss with the coach. How many are you bringing? If you are bringing a system, no, because of our budget, because of our constraint, because of this, we see that we need to have you see that on case you are giving you your first assistant coach must be our coach.
Exactly.
But you can bring your own minds to assist you. But this is what we want to have, and then trim the line, and so we have a minimum budget. You can't crowded the whole bench with nobody contributing. And you can be rest assured that out of our own coaches, with due respect to them, I'm not downgraded them. You can see that this man, they'll be completely sidelined. You will not ask any question from them.
Of course.
They'll just be sitting on the bench and look.
There'll be no input from them at all.
There's no input from them.
Because this one, I'm sure these are people he has been working with. Yes, so he would understand them better. So, I mean, since I'm taking on a new job, he completely disagreed because you can't appoint a coach and now appoint assistants for him. It's not done.
It's not done. And at the same time, I don't let that. I probably agree with this. If live so that very soon, this Nyama will also be part of the coaching of the goalkeeper trainer. Even me, I welcome that development.
Sure.
If they do this Nyama to be part of the goalkeeper trainer, so I also have to go. I want from the future that I want to have 2 goalkeeper trainers. If this Nyama came in and joined that would be very fantastic.
Fantastic indeed. Still on the Super Eagles, where captain or vice captain rather William Truce Ekong said he's confident that the Super Eagles will bounce back from the recent disappointment of, first of all, not progressing very far in the Nations Cup, and of course, ultimately not being able to qualify for Qatar 2022. He also spoke about meeting the new coach, was Peseiro, the new coaching crew, and of course, they also had their first training yesterday under new coach. He said, "We all arrived from a long trip here in Dallas. It was amazing to meet the coach and the new coaching crew. It has been a tough few months for all of us. It's a big heartache. We have to keep on moving. When you fall down, you have to stand up again. This team has been down before and came back, and I believe we will do it again. So it's great to be up for these friendly games and a chance to play in the AFCON qualifiers in the next few weeks. That would be a great chance for us to refresh and refocus ourselves, and the focus will be on the next AFCON." So I think encouraging words coming from Truce Ekong there after his appointment. It's good that at least they'll be having time to meet once again and play together as a team once again, and be able to forge ahead, and especially since it's a new dispensation completely in the Super Eagles. So it's nice that they are now, at least they know the coach they are having is not an interim basis. So they know this coach is permanent, so everybody will be willing to throw in their best and give their all for the green shirts.
Part of the team.
Of course.
Yeah. And you know, like in the local parlor, they say the downfall of the man is not the end of his, it's not the end. But the only thing is that when you are falling and you fail to plan to get up, when you make a mistake or you fell down, you fail does not mean you are totally out of the world. What does it mean? It gives you an opportunity to re-strategize.
Exactly.
Now, Super Eagles, just like if we are quite limited, we have failed to progress. Where all hope were lost. We even win the cup. We even fail to get near to where the cup is. And at the same time, when we were in a position that we're better rated than the Ghanaian to qualify ahead of Ghana. The chance of the Super Eagles was almost 70% compared to Ghana. Yeah. But unfortunately, Ghana is going to the World Cup while we're sitting. So it is an opportunity for us that it's not the end of the line, it's not the end of every scenario, but we need to sit down, analyze this critically, and so we bounce back well. Exactly. Just like he rightly said, if you recall vividly, in 2012, we failed to qualify for AFCON, but the next AFCON 2020, we qualify for the AFCON and become the African champion. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong. We can take that opportunity of that now that we are down, to plan well and then come out strongly, just like he rightly said. And I hope he take this lesson, what he just says seriously, put into his head, not just to open up and speak by what he's just speaking for sake. I think they need to implement and follow what he rightly said, and I believe other players share in this opinion that he rightly said.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, away from that, now, like I said earlier, there will be some matches going down in the NPFL. Match with 30 of the MPFL and interesting games up to look out for this weekend. First off will be Dakar FC, who will be hosting league leaders Rivers United, while Eyimba will also be at home to National United. That will be a tough encounter. Heartland of Owerri will be welcoming Shooting Stars, while champions Aqua United will travel all the way to play Kwara United. In the other game, Gombe United will be guests of MFM, while Niger Tornadoes will welcome Lobby Stars in a Middle Belt or North Central Derby, if you may want to call it that way. Plateau United at home to Enugu Rangers. Kano Pillars will take the trip to play with Remo Stars, while Sunshine Stars of Akure will also welcome Kasuna United in that one. Telephone, looking at this game, I think at Eyimba National United, for me, looking like that could just be the star match.
Well, but the star match, from my own opinion, Plateau
United,
Enugu Rangers. Okay. And at the same time, even the Dakadas and the River United is a very tricky tie. So River United has to be very, very careful here, because if they must sustain their 7-point leads, well, definitely the Dakar FC has spring some surprise results this season, and if you can.
And in fact, that's even a derby, actually.
South derby. So if River United is not careful, I may see the banana peel here, where they may likely to drop points in this game. And coming to Plateau United, Enugu Rangers, that is just a top of the table clash, because Enugu Rangers is following Plateau United top next to Plateau on the table. And the point difference between Plateau United and Enugu, I'm not too sure, it's like either 4-point difference. 4 points. So definitely, Rangers want to cut down that point, but Rangers are also aiming to become second to go for the CAF Champions League. So Plateau United being at home will definitely have an opportunity. Remember, Abdul Mekaba just left Plateau United to Enugu Rangers, so he understands the terrain and he understands the Plateau United well. So he's coming back to his old club. So it's going to be a very interesting tie, and for everybody within the North Central, where to be for this weekend. Apart from the game between Lobby Stars and Rangers and Niger Tornadoes, which is a local derby, or what I call it, North Central derby. Yeah. People also interested to see what was going to happen at the Plateau Justice Stadium. That's an interesting tie there. And at the same time, Kano Pillars are still struggling to get out of the relegation. So then it's an opportunity for them, because also Remo Stars are also aiming there. Remember, they are fourth on the table. So it's going to be another interesting tie to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, Sport Hub still continues. Don't go nowhere.
sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that break. Still on to Sports Orbit. Down to the weird news coming in from Watford, where Watford has released Nigerian midfielder Ogenekaro Etebo. Recall that Etebo has been on loan at a season-long loan to Watford from his parent club, Stoke City. Initially, Watford actually had the option of making the deal permanent, but of course, since Etebo went to that club, he was plagued by injuries. And of course, at the end of the day, he ended up making just 10 league appearances all season for the club. And Watford felt there was no point to keep him, release him, let him go back to where he's coming from, Stoke City. And after all, Watford too have been relegated. Stoke are also in the Sky Bet Championship. So let's go back to sender.
Well, there's no need to keep him because the essence of keeping them to have down from the top,
exactly.
Top league. So what is the essence of keeping him? So and need to release him back to his club. And what I think it's left for again a step for now to rebuild himself and to relaunch his career because Stoke City. If you put side by side by Watford, I don't think Watford is not even
Stoke City really spent plenty of time in the Premiership before.
To me, it's even more mature club than even Watford. Because Stoke City was for a very long time in the Premier League before they get relegated, and since they get relegated, they struggle to come back. I hope that if Kenneth Obo can be all you need to do to launch yourself and be part of the Watford, there's nothing wrong with playing in the second division. As for some playing in the competition, I will be an integral part of the national team.
Absolutely.
Just maintain yourself. And who knows? By the time you play half of the season, the other club can also come for you.
Very, very correct there. Well, on to some transfer news still, where Chelsea striker Romelu Lukaku is thinking of moving back to Syria. I recall that he moved over to the Syria from United, and he played very fantastic for during his time at Inter Milan, scoring 65 goals in 95 appearances and also winning the Italian title with the club. But as a result of that performance, Chelsea felt we want our boy back. When all paid big bucks for him, Lukaku also wanted the move, return to Chelsea, but this reunion hasn't gone the way a lot of people and he himself and even the club had thought he was going to go. And now he feels maybe I should go back to Italy and try my luck out there once again.
That reunion was a 0-0. It was a failure. 0-0. Have you had right? 0-0 or fail for all the participants.
For both parties.
So for both parties, nobody benefit from it. It's like what just like say. Remember when Man United were just leaving as a prodigal son. So Chelsea felt that maybe Man U understood him. And having seen just like you analyze what he done in Inter after one season. But unfortunately, he could not be able to forget that. But I think there's no even need him shouting. I think Chelsea and everybody connected will be willing to see him to go back to where he's coming from. It's like offloading him back and then go back to where you're coming from. Because I don't think there's need for Chelsea to keep him.
I mean, because the reason why he was brought, Chelsea were lacking a striker. And recall, it was because of his coming in that they had to let Tammy Abraham go. But Tammy Abraham has been fantastic for Roma.
Go to Roma.
Roma turned him into a complete player altogether, and they brought Lukaku, who they felt was a bigger player, more prolific, to come back to Chelsea, and the story hasn't gone quite well.
Unfortunately, and if you're looking at Chelsea, I'm not saying Chelsea this was a failure. They managed to reach the semi-final of the Champions League, finished third on the league. Actually, they may not have won any silverware, but at least their campaign this season is not. But if they have get outside striker, they would have effective. Maybe they might have achieved something better than what they performed this season. So Lukaku was part of their program.
Yeah, and for now, according to reports from Italy, AC Milan and Juventus are showing interest in the striker, but his current wage of £275,000 a week might be a problem. If he must make that move, it means he has to take a pay cut.
I think for him, if he's desperate to launch his career back, because if see him sitting in Chelsea, to me, is aiming toward the end of his career. So the best thing is for him to go back because he has failed to fit in. This is the second time he's coming to Chelsea, and for the second time, he failed to fit in well. So there's no need to stay in a club where you feel you can't fit in.
But if he makes a return to Italy eventually, do you think it will still be
remember,
another success story?
Remember in his first stake with Chelsea, it was under Mourinho.
Yeah.
People felt that Mourinho misused him, abused him. Even when he come to Barcelona, even
from Chelsea, he now went on loan to initially Everton. Now came back. Before he went to loan. He was now sold to
Everton.
No, Everton. There was one other club he was loaned to before. He played in another Premier League club. I'm trying to remember now. Before he was loaned to Everton, then Everton now made the deal permanent. Then after the deal permanent, Chelsea wanted him back, but Man United brought more money. Came his first season in United, I think it was under Mourinho. Was good one, but in the second season, he was a completely different player, and United felt, why don't we just sell him? Went to Italy, did fantastic, came back to Chelsea. Do you think if he goes back to Italy, he will still put up those kind of performances that he put up in Italy once again? Don't you think he might be lacking in some form of confidence after all that has happened in his second return or third return rather to Chelsea?
Well, I wouldn't completely say that he might have lacked some confidence or there's some certain environment that may not fit into someone. Because even if you look at his campaign so far in the Premier League, apart from the Everton that he does well and everybody appreciates, and he does well, but that's why Man U went for him. But in the even at Man U, after the first and the second season, he had the depreciating form, and now that's when they sold him to Inter Milan. Conte was able to transform him and he became a successful player in Inter Milan. So I wouldn't say if he go back, he's going to be successful this time or he's going to repeat the same thing that is happening. But one thing is that there's some environment that is fertile, that is always good for anybody. Who knows? He can go to Inter Milan, AC Milan as they are all Juventus, and recover his form. That's why he's still a key player to
Sure. I completely. Yeah, he does that for that. Well, we wish him well.
There's some certain things he himself need to learn from. Because his failures at Chelsea at this time, it's likely attributed to the interview he granted. And that interview
exactly. He was wrong completely because you can't be in a club playing for a particular club and you're still talking about fondly about another club, like you wish while you were in this club it was like this. I mean, so it's a lot of fans and even the coaching crew were not happy. So if you notice, he was even frozen out of the team for a while, and I'm sure that even affected his relationship even with his fellow teammates
and even the coach.
Exactly. So well, we wish him well wherever he finds himself. The transfer window will soon be open, and of course, you have different options of where he decides to continue his career.
That's why you see that his value has dropped.
Definitely.
So he has to take some personal
sacrifice. Exactly. I mean, if Chelsea will even sell him, I don't think anybody will be pay more than 55 million pounds for Lukaku because
always rely on to pay personal sacrifice.
Exactly. Anyway, now away from that now to, of course, the big one that's talking about the climax of European football tomorrow. With this match officially, it will now mark the end of the 2021-2022 season all across Europe, and that's talking about the UEFA Champions League final, where rivals, I mean, two of the most successful teams, if you ask me, Liverpool and Real Madrid, will take on each other in that final, long-awaited final, will take place at the Stade de France, right there in Paris. Now, looking ahead to that match, we'll give you a complete breakdown of how these two teams have fared. Actually, this final tomorrow will be the third time Madrid and Liverpool will be playing each other in the final. Of course, the first time they met in the final was in 1981, where Liverpool won that one. Their second final was in 2018. We all know how that final went. Fantastic final. It was Madrid who won that one. And in 2022, once again, they will be meeting in another final. Who takes this one? Well, we don't know. But looking at head-to-head, they've met a couple of 7 times in overall. Madrid have won 4. They've drawn 1, while Liverpool has won 3. In the process, Madrid has scored 10 goals, while Liverpool has scored 8 goals against Madrid. Of course, looking at how in they met in '09, that was in the round of 16. Also met again in 2009, also round of 16. This time it was Liverpool 4-0 over Madrid. The first time was Liverpool also winning. In 2014, once again, they met Real Madrid, won that one 3-0. 2014, they met also, and that was in the first round. It was Real Madrid 1-0 over Liverpool. Then, of course, 2018, the final, Madrid 3-1 over Liverpool. Met also in 2021 in the quarterfinal. Liverpool were hoping that would be a time for revenge, but Madrid also won that one 3-1. Then, of course, in the quarterfinal last year again, that match ended 0-0 actually. Then in 2022, once again, these two giants of European football will take on each other tomorrow once again in that classic final in Paris tomorrow. Salifu, who are you putting your money on?
Thank you for that fantastic analysis and fantastic statistic presentations you have done there. And just like you say, they have met final 2 times previously.
Yeah.
And it is like one. It's like 1-1. Liverpool first one, and Madrid take the second one. Even the second one, the 2018, the recent one, which is 2018. Liverpool fans and even the Liverpool largely believe that they were robbed or that match, because if you remember the scenario between Ramos and Musala. So people believe that if Ramos had not taken that dirty style of playing against Salah, Liverpool would have taken the day. So people believe that they were robbed. Liverpool believe that they were robbed in that match. Now, although club have said that there's nothing like revenge, but everybody believe that Liverpool
that's just mind games.
Liverpool is on the mission of revenge.
Of course.
Salah has come out openly that they have a score to settle, and that score is obviously that they will go. Tomorrow is the day, and they're going to just like the climax of the European football. That will terminate automatically the end of the season for European football. So, but these two sides, just like you say, the two personnel on the two sides. Most of them have tested this title separately, and at the same time, some of them there are some key players on the Madrid side, and at the same time on the Liverpool side, who have never tested this title. So definitely there's something to play, be everything to play for. In talk of experience, you may say that okay, on the Madrid side have won this title 13 times.
13, yeah, they are hoping for number 14, while Liverpool 6 times.
And in the Madrid personnel, at least about four of them, or two, about 4 or 2, I'm sure there are 2 of them have won this title 4 times. Presently in the present squad. But there are some of the squad who are in this squad who have never won this title. And at the same time, in the Liverpool side, the highest any of those inside is only 1. Most of the Liverpool personnel at the moment, Liverpool have won this cup about 5 times. They have won it 6 times previously. But their present squad have most of the players
just
only tested once. Why there are most of the players who have never tested. So definitely the 2 coaches have also won this title several before. Ancelotti won it with AC Milan, won it also with Madrid. Now he's going for the 3rd time. But for club,
he actually won it twice with AC Milan.
He won it twice with the
In fact, won it twice as a coach, twice as a player.
But this case,
but as a coach, he won it twice with AC Milan.
That means he won it twice with AC Milan, won it once with Madrid. Now he's going for another twice.
Yeah.
He want to make it 2-2 with Madrid. For club, we have won it 1 time, which in the final. Now you want to go for the 2nd time. So definitely, the experience is not lacking on the other side, on the 2 sides. But we are going to say who is good, just like you ask, who is going to win the title tomorrow. But to me, this match looked like 50-50. But a lot of people have said that Madrid will likely take the day.
Yes, for me, the way Madrid got to the final, I was reading some other reports today. The Madrid, it's been something very unusual.
There's something unusual.
Coming from behind 3 times on the run to the final.
3 times.
Even as Lottie said, it's something miraculous. For him, it's something he can't even explain. To have come,
like something
exactly.
They're destined to something.
Exactly. So even me, I have this sneaky feeling that Madrid might just take this title.
And just like you say, and among the things coming back from third times from behind, not just clubs, with fantastic clubs who have a record to protect.
Exactly.
PSV, Chelsea, and Man City. Not just come from a goal down, almost 2 or 3 go down, and miraculously overturn the result at the last minute. So, but Liverpool is a club that you cannot just underrate them.
No, at all.
Very fantastic. No matter how you try, if you play them, if you take them. If you take them, whatever you call them, you may take them. You may do that at your own peril. But Liverpool's basic very good in defensive, very good in attack, and very good in midfield. So I also have the fear that Madrid may not be lucky for the first time against. Because they are lucky 3 times in this season. They may not be lucky for the 4th time if Liverpool take a lead. So they need to prevent if they play their usual character of always going behind before coming from behind. They may not be lucky against Liverpool.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that one. It will be an interesting one. But before we go, give me a prediction. Who do you see laying hands on the trophy tomorrow in Paris?
It's 50-50.
50-50, there has to be a winner tomorrow, either by penalties or there must be a winner. So who do you think will lay their hands on that giant trophy tomorrow?
Whoever God chooses.
All right, Salisu said whoever God chooses. Well, for me, I have 4 I think will win, but I won't say tomorrow.
Who do you think will win?
I'll just keep that to myself. On Monday when we come back, we'll
if you're keeping that means you are not sure of who is going to win.
No, I'm sure of who is going to win, but I just don't want to sound like people who bet now might feel that, okay, since it's on air, he has said this is who is going to win, so let's bet his support. But I don't want to give
you want to give
that kind of expo. Exactly. Anyway, it's been nice being in the studio with you today also.
Thank you. And by the time we return on Monday, we'll definitely going to see how this Champions League ended. By that time, the winners are already won. But just like you say, the cup may go to Madrid or to Liverpool. Any of the side is any of the side that the cup went to is good as coming home.
All right, viewers, it's been nice bringing and talking sport with you in the last 30 plus minutes. Don't worry, we'll have plenty more to talk about on Monday. But of course, lots of sporting events going down this weekend. The MPFL, of course, Nigeria will also be in action tomorrow in a friendly match out there in the United States against Mexico. Then big one, the Champions League also comes up tomorrow. We'll be keeping an eye on all of those on Monday. We'll give you a complete review of all the sporting events. My name is Afa Acho, your host. Stay safe out there and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.